the Tao is infinite and inexhaustible. But in practice inexhaustible. It's not just a conceptual thing. And I want to illustrate that for you. The infinity part of it is partly something we contemplate. This symbol, of course, has gone everywhere too. You know, it's permeated the world. You will see the Tao symbol used for all kinds of purposes. I don't know if Taoists approve of all of them or not, but we see it, you know, virtually everywhere we go. It's on the flag of Korea, which is quite impressive, as a national symbol surrounded by nuclear trigrams from the I Ching. It's on T-shirts and it's on jewelry, and it's, you know, it's simply used as an object of art and as an icon, symbolic of the Tao, of which we cannot speak. Yes, anything the Tao Te Ching begins with the admonition that the real Tao cannot be expressed. So however we talk about it, it's really not the thing we're talking about. We're fingers pointing to the moon, but at least we can conceptualize it. And it's gone to some really interesting places in Denmark. This is the Order of the Elephant that was given to Niels Bohr, the father of quantum theory, earlier in the 20th century. This order is normally reserved for Danish nobility and aristocrats. Niels Bohr was a genius, but certainly not a noble or an aristocrat. But he did so much to pioneer quantum theory that they gave him this rather distinguished award. And as a result, he got to design his own escutcheon. Because when you get the Order of the Elephant, you have to come up with, the elephant is there, that's a given, but you have to design an escutcheon and a motto. So he came up with what's on the inside, and it says in Latin, contraria sunt complementa, meaning opposites are complementary. Opposites are complements. That's a teaching from quantum physics, but it's an older teaching from Tao. So he chose that symbol because the Chinese metaphysics of 2,500 years ago turned out to be the best explanation for the metaphysics of almost incomprehensible quantum theory of the 20th century. It's just an amazing thing that this ancient Chinese philosophy could provide a metaphysical foundation for understanding that aspect of modern physics. And so once again, the Tao is there, everywhere we don't expect to see it. Something I discovered a few years ago is that this is also not the Tao, because again, it can be defined, and so it's not the true Tao. But here's something for you to contemplate. We know that there's always some black in the white and some white in the black, right? The whole point is it's not polarized. The world is not black and white, so there's always going to be an admixture of the two. But if that's the case, then of course the white dot can't be purely white, and the black dot can't be purely black either, yes? So actually, this is more like what it represents. And this would be true on every level of magnification. So the little white dot and the little black dot also have another yin-yang symbol inside them, and all the way down. It's yin-yang all the way down. That's an infinite nesting of yin and yang. And this very thing itself is merely one more dot in a bigger rendition, yes? That's a fractal. That's the classic definition of a fractal object, one which is self-similar at every level of magnification. So the Tao now becomes intimately bound up with the foundations of chaos theory, because fractal geometry leads into, and this is even a more modern development in mathematics from the 1980s. And again, the Tao turns out to be foundational to this so-called new discovery. This is third-order Mandelbrot space. This is deep into chaos theory. And as you could see, the Tao symbol is there. It's just been moved around a little bit. Okay? It's been deconstructed and shifted. But it's still very clearly, if you rearrange it and change one of the black dots to white and so forth, you're going to end up with the Tao symbol again in third-order Mandelbrot space, which is absolutely extraordinary. This abstract mathematical object, in a sense, is made of Tao. And as some of you may know from an earlier work of mine, The Middle Way, I found that the fundamental object of chaos theory, which is this Mandelbrot set repeated an infinite number of times in here. Every little dot in there is another Mandelbrot set, which is an infinite, contains infinite copies of itself, is a fractal Buddha. So in any case, it turns out that the Tao and Buddhism have iconographic and geometric relations. which to anyone with a mathematical bent of mind is a fascinating thing. But what about the practical? Now that's enough theory, I promise. From now the rest of this is wholly practical.